Hello everyone, and welcome to the Tech Talk series from Quadrant Knowledge Solutions. Quadrant Knowledge Solutions is the strategic market research and growth advisory company. So in today's episode of Tech Talk, we are going to talk on the supply chain complexity and how to address it with possible technology solutions and turn the complexity into an opportunity. So I'm happy to introduce our two esteemed speakers of the session. Mr. John Santagate, who is the Vice President of Robotics and Voice at Cobra Supply Chain Software. And we have Theron Nisse, he is the Chief Supply Chain Officer at ISN, that's Integrated Supply Network. So John, I will start with you first. There has been a huge disruption of late in the supply chain all over the world due to, there are various reasons for that, like the pandemic and then labor shortage and then the increasing cost, the fuel prices, then material shortages. So a lot of other things. So how is Körber supply chain software is helping its customers to tackle these kind of challenges and turn the complexity into an opportunity?
Yeah, Shekhar, that's a great question. So, at the crux of what we do at Kerber Supply Chain Software is the underlying theme is helping customers to conquer supply chain complexity. So the way we do that is we really take a holistic approach to how we provide our solutions, our services, and our support for our customers. If you look at the portfolio of solutions that we provide at Kerber Supply Chain, it covers a broad range of supply chain execution technologies, right? Warehouse management software, labor management, transportation management, the broad range of XMS solutions for the warehouse. And then we package that together with deep domain expertise built over many decades of experience working in this space, as well as provide domain expertise and solutions in related execution technology areas such as voice, such as mobile robotics, as well as other handheld technologies. So, our approach is really to get to know our customers more than a vendor and as a strategic partner, so that as our customers grow and evolve to meet their their objectives, we're positioned to be a support engine for them and have deep understanding of the customer's operation and be able to recommend solutions that we see that would provide value for our customers, such as what we've been doing with ISN.
Okay, that's perfect. I will turn to Theron now. Theron, the ISN is one of the largest automotive tool and equipment distributors in the North America and Europe region. So what kind of challenges does your business, your company encounter with in general, and what kind of solutions normally you look for to overcome these kind of challenges?
Yeah, so obviously the supply chain crisis has presented a lot of challenges. We do a lot of importing, so there's been a lot of issues there in bringing in freight. But then specific to the warehouses, we've been challenged with labor shortages, throughput issues, quick turnaround times, having to improve cycle times, really trying to make our business move faster, basically respond as fast as possible. And so these challenges have made that extremely important. When a product comes in, it needs to go on the shelf immediately because we're out of stock, and we need to have it available for our customers to make sure we capture that sale. E-commerce is also, extremely fast paced. And so, we want to take orders as late as possible and get them out as soon as possible, same day. So, a lot of the supply chain challenges have fallen kind of on distributors who sit in the middle, and we've experienced a tremendous amount of those and have come up with a lot of different ways to combat them. And in the warehouses, obviously, Körber's been able to help us with installing robotics to really make a difference.
Okay, so John, like if you consider what Theron has thrown some light on the challenges, so how exactly the partnership between Cobra and ISN started?
Well, we've been a supplier for warehouse management solutions for ISN for many years at this stage. I believe it's close to 10 or more, if I'm not mistaken, Theron.
Yep.
Yeah, and so Theron had reached out, gosh, quite some time ago, a little bit more than a year ago, with an interest in how robots can help them to address some of the biggest challenges that they were facing as they scaled and grew to fulfill more e-com orders. They were seeing growth, they were experiencing labor-related challenges, and so we were in a position to help look at the solutions that we had available to us that we could help design, recommend, and implement there for ISN, right? So it really proved out to us the approach that we were looking to do, to be able to be that, that trusted advisor and end-to-end supplier of the technology. Interestingly enough, the team at ISN has great technical experience. They've been working with our WMS product, previously High Jump, today Kerber WMS, for many years. And so, we were able to take a bit of a different track here with ISN, right? There's a different degree of engagement, I would say, on the implementation and integration aspects, depending on the sophistication of the customer, if you will. The solution, once you sort of get it down, is somewhat repeatable. And so, contrary, we were able to help with the initial decision making, but contrary to many other projects where we would, be the driving force in the integration, Theron's team was able to lead the integration and relied on Körber for advisory and consulting throughout that project, as opposed to relying exclusively on Körber. So it really showed, again, the partnership relationship, and that we're able to look dynamically at what we can provide, and come up with an approach to helping Theron and ISN deploy the technology in a way that they wanted to be helped.
Okay, so Theron, would you like to comment on how was the overall experience in working with Cobra, and how was your team's experience also in terms of what your solutions Cobra offered so far, and whether will you be able to address all the challenges or pain points so far, and going forward, what kind of solutions you expect from Cobra?
Yeah, so I'll kind of start back a little bit at the beginning. One of the reasons this solution was ideal for integrated supply network was that we had some static racking. We have 6-foot aisles, and we didn't want to change that. We didn't want to, I call it, move the furniture, right? We didn't want to move things around. And so in talking with Körber and working through that, the bots were an excellent solution for us. The other piece was we wanted a capital light solution. And so this robot as a service model with a lease model was something that that was really important to us. And then for me, having worked for larger publicly traded companies in the past, I really wanted something that would be easier to integrate, would be a little bit lighter, something our team could participate in, like John mentioned. And so as we started down this path, those things were very important. We signed a contract in December of I believe 20, and we were up and running in March of 21. So really quick turnaround time. Körber was able to help us, to work with us to get us some code that our folks can install. And then past that, we were able to make some tweaks and improvements and work with the teams to do that. So what I would say from an improvement perspective is, the challenges that it really helped us solve was that crunch time that all e-commerce teams feel. A lot of congestion in aisles and those types of things. And so, that's a huge problem that to solve, is just being able to improve that throughput. I felt like our building and the way that we were picking was nearing capacity. And I feel like we've probably, given ourselves a much longer runway now, probably improved capacity by 30-40%, just because we can get more out of the building, not a space capacity, but a capacity of labor and congestion and being able to process orders. And so that's been a huge benefit that I didn't think we'd get that much out of it, quite frankly. And the other piece, the other major benefit is with a tremendous amount of turnover in the markets, with COVID and with just other things and escalations of wages. Having the bots has really helped us to stabilize that. So one, because we can manage that throughput better, we don't have a lot of overtime at the end of a shift like most do. We have a better work experience for our team. And then we also have been able to reinvest some of our savings back into wages, which obviously has made a better experience for our team members as well. Less fatigue, better quality, Those things are the things that John and his team were able to bring with the robots. And so I would tell you that it's been a very pleasant experience, and quite frankly, we've been able to roll it out now to 2 other facilities, and are going to our 4th and 5th this year. And so we've gotten really good at it. I mean, I think the last one was a few conversations, some mapping exercises, and we were off to the races. We've honed in the manifest layout and those types of things, and Körber participated in that piece as well. So, from a technology solution perspective, it met all of our needs, especially with the constraints I felt like we originally put on it with, not adding a lot of capital and not moving a lot of racking. So, and then in the future, I think where Körber will help us partner is we're moving towards put away. So we've used the robots for picking. We'll have put away live here. I was just on a call before this. We'll have put away live here in a week or so. And so that's going to take out a tremendous amount more travel time, right? Travel time's the enemy of distribution, and we're taking out a tremendous amount of it. And so we'll continue to look for those types of solutions, integrating cycle counting and some other functions, and Körber's able to help us do that along with the bot company. So I think those are the things that we'll look for in the future. The next phase for us is, we've used these for lum picking. There's a solution out there for pallet movement. And so I think, as you're saying, what other solutions to help with, I think that's a big one for us. So we'll think about how we want to move pallets as well, because I think there's an opportunity. And so we'll look at that. We've discussed voice as well. I've used voice in the past, and so there are things where you won't use a robot, and so there are opportunities to use voice there. We've done some advanced kind of pick and pass. Pick and pass has never been my favorite way to work, but with bots, you do need to do a little bit of that. And so we found some really interesting ways to do that together. And so the partnership has been really good, because I think John's team has been able to work with our development team and figure out ways to continue to get more lines and more work to the bots.
That's great. That's great. That's the best example of partnership between the 2 companies. And so, Theron, I just want to also know about the training part. So what kind of training was needed for using the solutions from Cobra, and how was the overall experience in terms of the training of your team?
Yeah, so I mean, there was a little bit of training from a management perspective. So, wave dropping, those types of things. What I will tell you, though, is in a company like ours, where we did have those static locations, wave dropping was one of those things that was extremely complex. And this solution has made that extremely easy. The bots will pick their pick path. You just drop large orders to the bot. So it actually got easier to train our managers on how to manage waves. So that was great, because it was a huge problem for us. And now they can be on the floor instead of sitting behind a computer trying to figure out how to best, drop waves for the slotting that we have in the warehouse. And then probably from a picker perspective, training is extremely easy. We use a badge so that when you walk up to the bot, it recognizes you and it tracks all of your data, how many picks, those types of things. And so training has become really easy. There's pictures, right? So our old RF devices, kind of smaller, a lot of typing, along with scanning, but also no pictures. And so now, from a training perspective, you walk up, you see visually the item that you need to pick. It obviously tells you where to pick it from as well. But the fact that you can look and see, this is what I have, and then it tells you where to put what container to put that in, makes training significantly easier. I would say probably cuts training time by at least 75%, if not more than that, from a picking training perspective, because it just, you don't have to have someone following someone around for near as long and verifying and checking. It's a lot simpler. So that's really helped us too as well. When you're onboarding folks, it's helped a tremendous amount. So from a training perspective, much easier and simpler solution. Quite frankly, there's some troubleshooting when something goes wrong, and that's also, though, extremely easy. Relocating a bot is as easy as hitting an e-stop, taking it to a barcode, and releasing the e-stop. I can do it. Anybody can do it. So those things, the thought process behind how the bots operate have made everything in the DC simpler, and the light integration made things easy to move forward.
So apart from the addressing the problems or pain points or challenges which you had that made you to get the solutions from Cobra. So do you think there are any trends in your industry that that drove the need to use the solutions from Cobra? And what was the criteria while going with this partnership?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a tremendous amount of trends, right? So really, as you've seen, retailers, have less volume and more going to e-commerce. We're a heavy e-commerce mover, so improving that capacity was really important that I mentioned earlier, right? So those trends will continue, I believe, and you're going to continue to see those smaller order sizes. So cost becomes really important. You can't put as much labor or cost into a individual pick as you maybe did before when you had larger order sizes, and so those trends continue. And so you need to find lower cost, more efficient ways to process orders. I think that's extremely important. The other piece is just speed. You no longer have the option that, next day service is pretty much a standard now. 2-day at the least. And so, holding an order for a long period of time is just not an option. So the speed and the quickness that it gives you, being able to take orders later and later in the day and be able to process them and get them out same day to a parcel carrier that's going to distribute them, locally is extremely important. So I think all of those trends, that you see throughout the industry have been what has helped us. And then just from a macro trend, just labor, there's a lot less, there's labor shortages, wage escalation, those types of things. And so as you're battling those trends, you need to make a better work environment for your team. You need it to be ergonomically safe. So we're no longer pulling a 150-pound cart around. Those types of things. We get a lot more employee referrals now than we got in the past, I believe, because of the environment that we're creating, not just with the bots, but with some cultural things. But the bots really help because it is an easier job at this point, because you don't have all those more demanding physical constraints. So no, I think that this solution fits really nicely with the trends and the way that things are moving.
Perfect. So, John, what can we expect from Cobra in the years to come? Although there are some discussions in your event Elevate, but maybe I would like to hear from you once again.
Yeah, Shekhar. I mean, we're continuing to evolve. We're continuing to grow as an organization. If you look back several years ago, Körber Supply Chain was a series of, leading solution providers in the supply chain technology space that were brought together through a series of acquisitions. Subsequently went through a rebranding, and now what we have is a more complete portfolio of solutions and offerings that we're continuing to build upon. One of the things to be clear, not every solution area is, owned IP, right? If you look at what we're doing with autonomous mobile robots, with some of our voice hardware and things of that nature, we're partnering with leading suppliers of that technology. In this case, with Theron, it was Locus Robotics specifically. But we have several partners in the autonomous mobile robotics space. We've got various hardware partners in other aspects of the business, and we'll continue to look at how we can expand our portfolio to provide the solutions that our customers need. Beyond that, it's also known that we had recently went through a private equity round and had brought on an investment partner in KKR. And part of that strategy is to continue to look at where we see opportunities to enhance our product portfolio based upon the demands from our customers and expand the solution offerings that we have in ways that allow us to be more complete from a solution provider perspective. Things such as order management, for example. So I think you'll continue to see activity in that space, but also continue to see internal development of new products. We've been very good about making investments in the spaces that are our core to our business, right? The WMS application, our Körber One platform that allows us to sort of plug the different features and functionalities together. But we're also making investments in the business areas such as autonomous mobile robotics internally. We announced at Elevate that we would be launching later this year our unified control system, which is meant to be a more a standard interface to the WMS that allows you a more standardized approach to execute in a multi-solution environment, as opposed to having bespoke integrations to the WMS, a platform that allows you to have an easier path to implementations, integrations, but then more importantly, data aggregation and workflow orchestration, all built in this unified control system. So what you can expect to see from Körber as we continue to move, as we like to say internally, up and right in our strategies and our execution capabilities. We'll continue to make investments in the people, the products, the solutions, and the research and development that are going to continue to make the year-over-year improvements in brand recognition that we have in the market.
That's fantastic. Look forward to hearing more on this, John, in future.
Indeed.
Okay. Thanks for connecting. It was pleasure talking to you both, John and Theron. And we will have this video published on our website as well as on social media. And I hope this will spread the word about the partnership. It's a fantastic partnership between ISN and the Cobra supply chain software. So thanks to both of you again for your time and for articulating the good facts about the partnership, about the technology, and about the future plans to strengthen the partnership in terms of growing further and improving the productivity further. So thanks again to both of you. Thanks to Kerry and Heather as well. So look forward to connecting with you again. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shekhar. Thanks, Theron.
Thank you.